I feel like these past few weeks, I haven't really been creating much music in terms of like actually fleshed out songs, but more so I've been experimenting with just creating sound and having fun with it. I think we gotta have those times and those moments where we can just have fun and not create with this expectation of needing to meet a certain quota or meet a certain goal. I don't know about y'all, but I just have more fun doing it like that. So if you're struggling with coming up with ideas, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just make something. Just explore sounds and just have fun creating, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Give yourself grace. Whether you know it or not, there's a story behind your sound, the way you think, your process. There are thousands of creators needing a very specific source of inspiration and motivation. And your story, our stories, could very much so be the key. In other words, we the ones we've been waiting on. So for me, as a producer doing a lot of this world building online, these music visuals kind of serve as that entry point to telling my story. So for me, storytelling behind the music making, I feel makes you feel more connected to the art. And I feel like storytelling is essential because in the world where thousands of songs are getting uploaded every single day, how are we going to stand out? You know, how do we continue to build longevity? Over the past few years, I'm blessed and thankful that I've been able to see the success and the growth that social media has brought me just from posting my visuals online and really consistently, and even talking about the process, talking about the challenges, and just being open about the journey. I feel like sharing your story creates space for people to connect with you, to know who you are, and most importantly, connect with the music. And it's also an opportunity to be transparent about the process because it ain't easy, especially as the landscape continues to grow and change and evolve. Okay, so where do you start with storytelling? How do you tell your story? So I like to think of it like this. Ask yourself a few questions first. What are your goals? Who are your inspirations? Where were you when you discovered music? Where were you when you first fell in love with music? What did that feel like? And even more presently, what challenges are you facing right now? I think those are all really amazing questions that you can just really sit with and find ways to tell your story around that. Because these are questions that a lot of us are already asking each other, like, yo, how do I do this thing? Or who are some people I should be listening to? You know, are you facing any challenges? Being open and transparent about some of those things and some of those topics, that's what helps us really connect with the listener. I feel like storytelling is our moment to be transparent as creatives, as musicians, as artists. Now, I know this can be daunting. I know we're as producers, for me as a producer, like that's why I'm a producer. Like I'm behind the scenes. Like I ain't on stage. You know what I'm saying? So it's challenging. It can be daunting. I remember when I first started making beat videos in general, I was nervous about how my stuff would be received and but then, all right, cool, we got the product, here's a proof of concept, we can create the music. Now can we tell the story? That's the next challenge because I wasn't the best at that. And now I'm getting better. The more that I do this, the more that I speak, the more that I talk about my story, and the more that I do deep work around my process and really fully understanding what I'm creating and how I move and how I'm thinking, that's helping me to paint that's helping me paint that picture even more clearly so that I can talk about the process. Now, when it comes to your first video, it might take some time. I ain't gonna hold you. It took me some time. Like it took me one day it probably took me like a day or two to like make a story to like actually get in front of a camera to talk about the process. It's gonna take time, but the more that you do it, the better you get. All right, I'm gonna leave y'all with one last point. So throughout this whole process, as we're telling our story, as we're creating content online, as we're doing all this work, keep your artistry first. Continue to develop your sound, continue to be innovative, share your music in creative ways, and continue to show up for yourself as consistently, as often as possible. I saw a post the other day that Schoolboy Q said artists are content creators. And I agree with that because we have to be. I feel like in this day of age, we have to create content because this is where the people are. A lot of us don't really have the access or the capital to be in so many different places. So we have social media to create our audiences, to create our fans, to create these proofs of concepts aka music. And then for people to really see what's going on, for us to really connect with the outside world so we can get out and go tour, so we can get out and do shows, so we can get out and sell merch. We have to be that. Until the next best thing comes, this is where we're at right now. Social media is the way to connect with your audiences in 2024. And with so many people uploading and creating stuff online, we just got to be innovative. We have to share our story. We have to, continue to make amazing, timeless music. And it's a process. It's a process. But again, the more that we're consistent, the more that we show up for ourselves, I'm telling you, we're going to continue to find our audience. We're going to continue to cut through the noise, and we're going to be able to create sustainable careers from our music. Okay, got off on a tangent. So this week, take some time to sit with this video. Take some time to sit with some of those questions I mentioned earlier. Do some deep work around that. And when you're ready, just get your phone, get your camera, and press record. Record your story, talk about it. Find ways that you can express your story. If there's someone that you see that you really enjoy, who you're inspired by, who tells their story well, imitate that. Do that. Find your own way to tell your story. Either way, that's my challenge to you this week. And remember, you never know who your story is going to impact. People are waiting on you. All right, y'all. Peace.